Next on the list of to-dos is the windshield wiper relay kit from Vicks. So it comes with a wiring harness, comes with the relays. The relays have the little clip on the bottom. For mounting. Comes with instructions, the fused wire connector, and electrical components. So there's two ways to mount this. We can mount it under the cowl, or we can mount it in the engine compartment. I don't know which one I'm going to do yet, but we'll figure it out. So first thing we got to do is take the cowl off again. If you haven't seen this before, I'm sorry. If you have seen it before, I'm sorry. This is like the fourth time I've had this thing off already. It's relatively simple. This piece just slides out. And then we give it a tug and it's loose, right? But what we got to do first is disconnect these. Let me think about that. We have to hook these wires into the new wiring harness. And this new motor that I bought doesn't have these markings on it, so I'm going to use this as an example to get everything lined up to the right places, and I'll figure something out. So there's a rubber grommet that this wiring harness goes through to get in there, and so what I've done is I've pulled the wires loose. This one runs down here. So what I think I can do is I can strip this back, use these existing wires to get to my new harness, and it'll kind of be almost like a plug and play, except for the routing. I mean, we'll have to figure, the instructions are clear on this side and this side, so we'll get there. All right, so here's my idea. This is the harness. I'm going to cut these wires here. I can tuck that back up in there and put this back in. I'm going to mount this over here behind this bottle. So in order to do that, I got to move the bottle, which isn't hard to do because it just comes loose over here, and this bracket comes off and the bottle moves over. And that'll give me access to working over here without this being in the way, so I don't cut anything too short. Let me pull this out of the way, and then we'll get back to it. I know it looks messy, but this is the top, right? So I made a handy dandy mount out of that aluminum plate again. So this is going to line up right with the rest of the wiring harness. So these are the wires coming out of the firewall. And they're going to plug directly into this side, the body harness side. So it's time to start cutting. And we're just going to use the original wires. I don't have enough space to shove that back up in there. Should go pretty good. Let's get to it. We're working on the body harness. And I'm going to do the reds, the whites, and then the blacks. That way don't get mixed up. So here's the reds. You can see that they're not straight. Red plug, blue and white. Strippers. So the body harness is the blades. We're going to need these. Red plug, black and white. Red plug, blue and black, sorry. Yes. White plug. White plug, blue wire goes on top. Gray wire. I'll give y'all a shot of this when I'm done. And then there's these two. Black wire. Black or gray with white. Gray plus black. Just black. here. Some bitch. Gray. White plug gray wire is wrong. Black plug gray wire. Right. So all we have to hook up now is our ground and our hot lead. So since we're already right here, we're going to do the ground. Remember the trick? We're going to put 2 nuts in there. So now we got to do a hot lead, and then we can do a check. Pause. For this hot lead, I'm going off the starter, and it's a tight fit. I don't want to get zapped, even by accident. So I'm gonna disconnect the battery temporarily. This is my charging cable from my battery tender. So it bolts directly to the battery. I've got a video for that too if you want to check it out. Remember, don't touch another metal when you're messing with this stuff. there's a lot of metal about. Okay, so we're safe. Now we can go jack with the starter without zapping ourselves. I think you're just going to have to take my word for it. I'll show you when I'm done. Hold on. So it's hooked up to the starter. That red wire coming up top. And then it's going to run across and over to the hot side. Stand by. So here's our hot lead going into the wiring harness. I pre-tend this so that it's tight. If you tin them first, then they stick better. At least I think so. So we have wiring. Everything's hooked up. Hook the battery back up. Put the fuse in, and then we'll be able to test. I'm gonna hook the battery up. Stand by. I thought about doing a test where, you know, I turned them on before and showed you how slow they were and counted revolutions per minute or something like that, but that's really less than scientific. So we're just going to do it by eyeball. So now we're running power from the starter solenoid, which is direct to the battery, and then it's all hooked up through this wiring harness from Vicks. Pretty sure I got it hooked up right. We'll find out. Let's give it a test. Now all we have to do is organize our wires. We can stick all of this back inside now. All right? And there's this rubber grommet that it'll go through. And you know, we can even clean this up and put some shrink wrap around it. Probably all the way down to here. Fold this, zip tie it all up, clean it all up, but you don't want to watch that. Get the water bottle hooked back up. So Vicks wiper relay installed. Instructions are pretty easy to follow. You don't have to mount it out here. You can mount it underneath if you want, but this will be a good spot. So I mean, when it's all said and done, all you're really going to see is these two relays from the top. I'll be able to hide all these wires, clean them up pretty good. Thanks for watching. Stay well. Oh, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button right here. That was the wrong button.